Parents of Reddit, what's something that you think teenagers of Reddit need to hear? Learn to say no. If a request makes you uncomfortable, you can say no, even it's to family or friends. It's healthy to set boundaries and learn to respect others' people's too. If your parents are good people, you should try talking to them about your problems. Don't let embarrassment get in the way. As a parent of older teens, I'd like to offer a small bit of advice to parents of younger kids: always volunteer to drive them places. Your kid might not voluntarily talk to you at home, but they will in the car. I have no idea why this is. I figured this out quite by accident. I'm certain smarter people than me know why. Their friends will talk to you in the car, and if you have a bunch of kids in the car, they'll almost forget you're there and you'll hear all kinds of things. So yeah, be the parent that they can always count on for a ride. Not a parent, but one of my parents' most successful parenting tools was the no questions asked call. No matter what, no matter when, no matter who made the call, they would come get us and make sure we were safe. Okay. No questions asked. My friends asked them to come get them on more than one occasion, so did my brother and I. My friend had her drink spiked. Mom came to get her and made sure she got medical help in the morning because she was afraid of what her parents would say. A friend of my brother's called because the girl he was on a date with was saying some crazy shit. Sometimes you're scared and want help, but the thought of parental questioning stops you from asking for help. We, my brother, friends and I, always got home safe because of this. I tell every parent of a teenager about my family's system because it made such a huge difference for us. Edit, words are hard before coffee. Just because you pop out a baby doesn't mean it'll keep your soul around, and at times it'll make them break up with you. To that part, just because you have the kid doesn't mean it'll unconditionally love you, especially when you're a shitty parent. These are things my idiotic friends had made when we were young. Choosing to get knocked up at a wrong time in life has shaken lives to rubble at points. To my former teenage self, when they say don't do drugs until your brain is fully developed, there's a reason, and you should listen. Edit, thanks for the awards. I knew you were masturbating. I am just not going to say anything. As an older teen talking to my younger teen self, have some patience, you fuck. My daughter is 1.5, and I already make a point of saying things like, oh, mama made a mistake. Silly mama. Incidentally, I dropped something in the street while I was carrying her the other day, and said, oh, mama, as I went back to get it, and that was the funniest thing she had ever heard, and she kept repeating it and laughing for the rest of the afternoon. That part's not as relevant, but my kid is adorable, so I thought I'd share. There are lots of paths to a successful happy life, not just the one that involves straight A's and the Ivy League or other top colleges. Your body parts won't all grow at the same speed. Don't panic, everything will probably even out. 1. Work on improving yourself and your interests now. It will set you up for more success later and likely will attract others to you. 2. None of social structure, drama shit is going to matter once you're out of school, so don't worry about what others think, you just do you. 3. It's completely legal for a teenager to buy all the equipment and ingredients to make beer, just saying. While reading an article about fathers and sons drinking together, I remembered the time I took my daughter out for her first drink. Off we went to our local bar only 2 blocks from the house. I got her a Guinness. She didn't like it, so I drank it. Then I got her a Killian's. She didn't like that either, so I drank it. Finally, I thought she might like some Harp Lager. She didn't. I drank it. I thought maybe she'd like whiskey better than beer, so we tried a Jameson's. Nope. In desperation, I had her try that 25-year-old Glenfiddich. The bar's finest scotch. She wouldn't even smell it. What could I do but drink it? By the time I realized she just didn't like to drink, I was so shit-faced I could hardly push her stroller back home. A lot of people try to glamorize high school and make you think your high school years are the best years of your life. For a lot of people, this just isn't true. It's okay not to like high school or to feel like you don't belong. You are not alone. It gets better. High schoolers deal with a lot of heavy shit. A lot of mental illness comes to light at this age, including depression and anxiety, but also heavier stuff. Many who struggle with these issues won't get help until years later. High school kids also deal with a lot of issues, like identity issues, bullying, pressure to conform, disputes with parents, the pressure associated with juggling work, school and life that often get better once high school is done. Hang in there, it does get better. For me, high school was some of the worst years of my life. I was heavily bullied to the point that I became paranoid that anybody laughing was laughing at me. When I got to college, I had an epiphany. These two good-looking girls came up to my friend and I as we were eating lunch in the cafeteria. They apologized and explained that they were pledging a sorority and were told to serenade my friend and me. Then they proceeded to loudly sing about how much they loved us. My friend was embarrassed, but I had a sudden realization: I didn't care what these girls or their would-be sorority sisters thought of us. We'd likely never interact with them again. On the other hand, I'd likely never again have a woman singing to me about how much she loves me. So I could be embarrassed or I could just enjoy the serenade and then move on with my life. That's what I did. The lesson here, aka TLTR, there are a few people in your life whose opinions matter. It varies depending on the situation. These might be close friends, family, etc. For everyone else, accept the positive and ignore the negative. You'll be a lot happier in life. Cliques and high school mentality exist forever. Some people just never grow up. Build good health habits now. If you're not already active, find a simple active hobby you can do. Take up Pokemon Go or take up bike riding or something. Also, learn how to cook some basic and healthy meals like chicken pesto pasta or fried rice. The healthier you are as a teen, the easier it is to stay healthy as an adult. Edit, my food options seem super controversial, like portion control and different recipes aren't a thing. But here's a recipe that's super simple, fairly healthy, takes about 5 to 10 minutes and anyone can do. Buy some bagged lettuce, or like 2 to 3 different kinds of lettuce if you can get the fresh stuff. Take a cucumber, grab some olives or carrots or whatever else you like. Snag some feta cheese. Fry up a small amount of minced turkey. I get that everyone hates fried food, but again, proportions are key. Put lettuce in bowl, slice up as much cucumber as you want, add that to bowl, cut up carrots, add to bowl, same with olives and extra veggies. Put in the small amount of turkey, like 100 grams is enough, and crumble a small amount of feta on top. Feta has a strong flavor, so you always need less than you think you do. It makes a really delicious salad that fills you up for hours. Turkey is also naturally flavorful when fried like that, so you can add spices or not and it's still fine. That we love and care about them. I think we often get caught up in day-to-day life and forget to tell them this. It's okay to take some time to take care of your mental health. Nobody will hate you for it. Delete your internet profiles every few years. Your boss in 5 years does not want to see your shit from today, and we all post dumb shit. Google yourself and make sure those accounts are deleted as well. That we miss you and we actually want to spend time with you, not because of how you were, our little boy, girl, but because we are in awe of who you are and want to get to know you better, so you know we love you unconditionally, but also that it's okay and fun to hang out sometimes. Soon you'll be leaving home, time passes quickly, and we want to create as many good memories as we can for you so you can use them for when the world is not so kind and I'm not around to give you a hug. You're amazing, you've always been, and I know your life will be filled with ups and downs, but I hope the love we share reminds you that you'll always have a soft spot to land. Edit, note, thank you so much for your comments. I wish I could hug you all. Thank you to those who granted me awards. I never thought an open letter to my son would move so many. I actually showed this to him. We both cried, hugged and laughed, but most importantly, and thanks to all of you, I just became way cooler. I'm sorry for those of you who did not have a great upbringing. I didn't either. That's why you'll be, just like me, especially careful with your kids' emotional well-being, because after all, it's their story in the making. Edit 2. Wow, dear Reddit community, I want to share something with you. My son and I have read each one of your comments. I cannot express how this has been a deeply moving experience and that your words mean a lot to us. If you didn't have love and support growing up, I hear you, I do. It's up to you now to give it. It'll free you from the constraints of being hurt by the lacking. You don't have to be a parent, sometimes we choose our family, and love knows no titles. I have learned that by constantly feeling that love above all, hard moments and little, or big, grudges have the space to be felt and transform themselves into growing opportunities so we can, of course, love ourselves and others. My son sits here with me and we have had so many conversations because of your words. All of you are important in my book. You've made a huge difference today to this random family, IRL. When I was teenager I was going through a really rough patch where I felt I might have depression. I didn't know who to talk to, so I thought I'd ask my doctor about it. I told him I thought I might be depressed and asked if he had any suggestions on what to do. He laughed at me and said, "You're not depressed, you're just a teenager." I never went back to that doctor again, but I also didn't open up to anyone about the way I felt again. I went through a really self-destructive period following that, using drugs, alcohol, and self-harm to cope, and about to flunk out my school, which was one of the best private schools in the city. I was at a real low point, and one night when I was set on killing myself, my dog Snoopy convinced me not to and made me want to try and get better. I finally decided to try and get some help again, and after I did I wished I had done it sooner. My point is, don't be afraid to ask others for help. Wanting to better your mental health is nothing to be ashamed of, even if it might feel that way.